Hello, here we are again, at Time Between Times storytelling, with me, Owen Staton. Welcome one and all to this place where tales are told, a place where we can gather at the time between times, the time when it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. The time when the veil between our world and the fairy world is wafer thin. A time for stories. Welcome one and all. Wherever you are, whoever you are more than welcome here. My friends, time passes quickly. For many months I have been doing these videos and enjoying them, and I welcome your feedback one and all. Please consider subscribing and liking the videos. It makes a big difference to me. If you are enjoying these tales, oh, excuse me, told at the time between times, then please just give me that little thumbs up. It would really help. If you're feeling really generous, I have a Ko-fi page, coffee.com/Owen Staton. That's coffee with a K and an O and an F and an I with a little slash in between. And if you are feeling generous, please buy me a coffee. It would really make my day. I thank you ever so much for joining me. The world is a troublesome place, my friends. But here, at the time between times, we can sit back and we can enjoy a tale traditionally told. So, take a moment, sit back, relax, let your mind be washed away on a tide of tales as we tell the tale of the ghostly night. So imagine you are sat at the fire pit at the time between times, the time when it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. All around you can see your friends gathered by the flickering flames of the fire pit. The teller of tales stands up and starts to tell this tale, and all your cares, all your worries just wash away for a few moments as you let your imagination run wild. My friends, you are safe here. The howl of wolves is far away. The growl of bears is further still as we tell the tale. As we travel far today to Passenham in Northamptonshire, the English county, far away from the wilds of Wales. And many years ago, for there in Passenham, something really strange happened. Back in the Middle Ages, where wars were fought all over the country, the wild times where people lived, in the small village of Passenham, there was St. Guthlug's Church. An old stone building that at the time had a thatched roof. All the people would gather there, and every Sunday Robert Bannister, the lord of that area, would attend a church service. He was a cruel man, a vicious man. He used to hunt nearby. He would gather all the people together, and in his money and with his men, he would make their life a misery. But on one Sunday many years ago, hundreds of years ago, on a bright sunny day, they attended the service. Robert Bannister had sat at the front. At the end, he insisted that he walked out first. He walked out of the church, got on his horse, and rode back to his manor house outside the village, roaring as he did so. The poor were gathered outside, waiting for alms, and he gave none. As was his wont, every Sunday evening he would parade through the village in his finest armour, showing off his wealth as the moon would shine across the metal plates. And this night was no different. All the people of the village were gathering their food together, and the time between times had come, the time when it was neither night nor day, but the sun had gone, and the sky was grey, and Robert Bannister made his way down through the village on his horse, his armour shining bright in the moonlight. As he did so, the people gathered and bowed their heads to him, for if they did not, he would often administer punishment really deadly. But this night, things changed. As he was riding down past the church, a dog ran out, causing his horse to rear, and Robert Bannister fell to the hard ground, smashing his head on the floor, and even his armour could not save him. And he lay still, and he lay dead, there in the centre of the village. The people gathered around him and picked up the body, carried it into the church. For even though they hated him, they were good people, and he was the lord of the land. They placed him in the church. They did what they could to try and revive him, but sadly his spirit had gone. But then the night came dark and thick, and all the villagers returned home. The priest at the time had gone to bed, but was awoken at midnight, the witching hour, by the sound of clanking metal feet on the floor of his house. He sat up, and the door to his bedchamber swung open by some invisible hand. And stepping into the room came a knight in full shining armour. He lifted his visor, but there were no eyes within, and spoke in a voice ancient and dangerous and deadly, all at the same time, and said, "I am not ready." The suit of armour disappeared. The priest was terrified. He got up, lit the lights in his house, but there was no sign of anyone. The next morning, he gathered the people of the church together, and 10 of them had reported the same thing, that this knight had walked into their house and uttered the words, "I am not ready." The priest was concerned. He did not know what to do, but knew that Robert Bannister must be buried with the utmost haste, for even though he said he was not ready, they must get rid of this spirit. So they buried him there in the churchyard. They lowered the coffin deep into the ground. But just as the villagers were about to shovel the earth atop the wooden box, a shuffling sound could be heard within, and a voice from within the coffin said, "I am not ready." Everyone was terrified. Somebody even jumped inside and opened the coffin to make sure that he was dead within, and he was. They finished the service, and as the last shovel of earth was put on the grave, the voice echoed across the churchyard, "I am not ready." And with that, the service was finished. Every night for weeks, for months, for a year and a day after that happening, people from the village reported being visited by the ghostly spectral knight that wandered down the streets, through the curving streets of Passenham, always clanking on the ground, and always uttering the words, "I am not ready." The village people gathered, not knowing what to do. They summoned a bishop from far away who would come and perform an exorcism. But before he arrived at the village, for he had to travel far, there were 2 reports of the knight appearing to people in the village and changing what he said. Instead of "I am not ready," he stood over the bed of 2 individuals and said on separate nights, "Are you ready?" Within 3 days of the spectral visitation, both those people were found dead, almost as if the ghost itself was predicting their doom. Terrified, the people of Passenham waited day after day for the bishop to arrive, and he did so. And standing over the grave of Robert Bannister, he performed an exorcism. And as the final words of this ceremony were wrote to the sky, there was a flash of light, and the ghostly knight appeared to everyone in the village. And he said, I am not ready, but you have done this. So until it is decreed, I will not return and haunt the village of Passenham. I will lie in peace until the anointed time is past. I am not ready. And in a flash of light he vanished. 500 years and more have passed. There have been no reports of the ghostly knight wandering the winding roads of Passenham. But everyone wonders, as the night sets there, as the time between times comes, will tonight be the night that Robert Bannister returns to stand over the bed of those who are ready for their doom, or not ready for their doom, as he did say so. And that, my friends, is the tale of the Spectral Knight. Diolch yn fawr am gwrando. Thank you for listening. As I said earlier, please like and subscribe. Our numbers grow every week. This storytelling channel has become something extra, a place where we can gather and tell tales. Sometimes I feel I'm talking to myself. So please drop me an email, owenstaton@aol.com. Follow me on Twitter at Owen S. Griffiths. And if you're feeling generous, please, a Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Owen Staton. Diolch yn fawr am gwrando. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great week. And I will be back soon to tell you another tale at the time between times. Nos da.